Aloha, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate your presence. I'm here with my feet in the creek and my roots on the rocks, and to my back is soil. It's this roots coming out of the soil here, and the sun is shining, and feeling all the elements really strongly. The water, the fire, the winds, the soil, the ether, spirit within me. I would like to speak today on a concept that's named ReEarthing. So a lot of folks are talking about how important it is that we return to the earthways and embody these sacred elements because we are them, and to consciously, intentionally take time to connect with our mother. And so thus this practice is one way of phrasing it is re-earthing. So we're returning to the earth and tuning into the elements. And I have some suggestions for how to do that. I incorporate that into your day in a really easy way that can help you in profound ways. So one of the ways is putting your feet in water, running water, a creek, um, a stream, a river, uh, a lake, places where the water is alive, where the water is fresh and moving and absorbing the sunlight and has algae and creatures. It's a really good way to connect with the water. And you can put your feet in the water. I suggest taking off your clothes and actually getting in the water and spending time in the water as much as you can. And I like to open my eyes underwater and pretend I'm a fish and yeah, just see what that world is like, the underwater world. So yeah, I highly suggest that practice. A sister also suggested to me recently a way to connect with the treekin. And so trees are beings, they provide uh, uh, us with the ability to be able to breathe clean air. And she was able to tap into um, connecting with the trees through the soles of her feet by laying with her back on the earth and her feet on the trunk of the tree, and consciously breathing with the tree, taking inhalation in and exhalation out, then noticing how the tree responds. And in her experience, the tree actually breathes with her. And yeah, the more we can slow down and be really present with plants and animals and water and fire, the more we'll see that they have a life of their own. They have a consciousness of their own, which is really profound. And we can have conversations with them even, and receive teachings and wisdom from the fire, from the water, from the plants, from the soil, from the winds. I'm feeling the wind picking up right now, and gently caressing my body, and just knowing that the wind also has a consciousness and a spirit and response to us. And the more we can tune into that, the more we can learn how to be responsive to it. Another way that's been profoundly helpful for me in terms of releasing heavy emotions and grief in particular, sadness, is to just lie on the earth with my spine touching the earth and release whatever I have within me back into the earth. It's sort of that, it is a shedding process, just as snakes shed their skin and become new again, new creations. We are constantly doing that with each breath. And when we consciously slow down and take our shoes off, take our clothing off, and connect with the earth, with the elements of her, we can really release so much more, and be reborn in that way, in those ways. Another way that I have really connected with the earth is through drumming, and that beat, connecting with my heartbeat, beating the drum in time to my heartbeat and feeling the vibration of the drum as I sit on the earth, and feeling my roots, the base of my spine, connect with the earth, and feeling my spirit connect with the higher realms, the ether, through the drum. I feel like the drum helps me get into my heart center and be that conscious bridge between spirit and matter. Yeah, another way that's been very profound for me to connect with the earth is through taste, through the sensation of taste. And so right now it's blackberry season, so I encourage you to get outside and get some blackberries and eat them, and really tune in to the vibration of where you live through ingesting the edible plants and berries, fruits. It's harvest season of where you reside. I sometimes just walk around and take a leaf from a plant that I want to tune into and put it in my mouth and feel the vibration, the teaching of that plant through the receptors in my mouth. And yeah, right now I'm looking across the creek and there's a bunch of mint. I know that that's mint because I laid down on the earth over there after getting into the creek and was curious about the plant and put it in my mouth. And yeah, it doesn't even matter if you don't know the name of these plants. I feel like that actually limits their teachings in a way when we try and pin them down by labeling and giving them a name. These plants are way beyond being confined to whatever names or labels we want to put upon them, whatever constructs, mind constructs we want to put upon them. We don't know anything about these plants, really. They know so much more than we do. The plant kingdom has been on this earth far longer than we have, and we have so much to learn from them. We have so much to learn from them. I'm constantly humbled by the plants, by the flowers. Right now I planted a moonflower in the garden behind my house, and it's been blooming, and I've never communed with that flower plant before. And it opens at night in the moonlight, and it has these big, beautiful trumpet, white trumpet-like flowers, and the fragrance is just unreal, like beyond what I've ever smelled before. So that's another way you can tune in and re-earth, is through your sense of smell, smelling the earth. Many times I've gotten down on my knees and dug a little hole in the soil and just breathed in the smell of the soil, you know, the mycelium and whatever other elements are there in the soil, all the minerals. And that in and of itself can be a meditation, you know, using your sense of smell. I've heard of ceremonies in the Amazon that just involve smelling, you know, and that can take you to a higher state of consciousness, spending time with a scent, a fragrance like a rose or a flower, something like that, and just smelling it over and over again for a long period of time, and tuning in to the essence of that plant teacher through your sense of smell. So I welcome any other ideas folks may have, any other practices that may be out there that are ripe for teaching. If you have one that connects you with the earth, please feel free, please do leave a comment here on this video. And I welcome emails, phone calls. I'll leave my phone number and my email. If you're interested in connecting with different plant allies, I'm particularly connected with the rose and mugwort. And yeah, my jam is wild harvesting, and I really love being out in the forest and listening to the call of spirit, listening to the plants and communing with them and learning from them and making medicine, and asking them how I can be in service to them, and asking them how I can bring them back as medicine for family, for my relatives. And yeah, that's been hugely healing and cathartic for me, and connects me with my heart and my true purpose as a healer. And yeah, I just encourage you to get out there, to look up at the stars at night, to notice the birds, to notice the insects. I'm also an artist, and many times I will go outside and just pick a spot to sit down and just draw what I see on the ground before me. And when you really tune in and just take time to notice, there's like whole cosmos universes in the um, ground before you. You know, the ants and the bugs and just like the little tiny, teeny little minute details that are present there, and to really fine tune our presence, our ability to be present with ourselves and our ability to be present with others. And I feel like that's where the magic is. That's where the healing is presence. And we can cultivate presence in our lives to a deeper degree by just taking time to be outside and turn off technology and just dedicate, even if it's just an hour, to being outside every day would heal all of humanity. I feel like, you know, such a profound but simple practice, and that's the beauty in it, is the simplicity and the potency and the power there. So may this message find you well, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please feel free to reach out to me if you like any herbal advice, any interest in plant journeys. I facilitate plant journeys. I'd love to talk to you about that. Um, I'd love to help you cultivate your re-earthing practice for yourself and encourage you and give you more suggestions, and even do it with you, you know, if you're nearby in Oregon here. So thank you so much for tuning in. Much love and aloha.